Most people think they're still making decisions, but most of the time now the decision has already been made. Not by force, not by someone taking control. It's just because the system got there first.
Hey, I'm George Tift, and this is BoomerBust. In the last episode, we talked about the collapse of experience as a moat. Not because experience stopped mattering, but because time stopped protecting it. Today's episode is about what happens after that collapse. Because once experience no longer guarantees authority, something else changes. Decisions start getting made without us. Not violently, not maliciously, not even intentionally, just more efficiently. Because for most of human history, decision-making followed a very human arc. Information flowed upward, judgment flowed downward. And responsibility sat somewhere in the middle. You gathered the data, you debated the options, you weighed the consequences, but ultimately you owned the outcome. The process was slow, but it was ultimately human. And AI didn't break decision-making by replacing leaders. It broke it by short-circuiting the deliberation time. When systems can predict outcomes faster than humans can discuss them, discussion starts to look like friction. And friction is the first thing that optimization removes. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people weren't pushed out of the decisions. They were relieved of them. At first, it feels kind of helpful, Let the system recommend. Let the model rank all of our options. Let the dashboard decide. And you're still in the loop until you're not. Because once decisions become statistically reliable, human input starts getting treated as bias and not wisdom. And that's the shift no one warned you about. Authority used to come from responsibility. Now it comes from accuracy, and AI doesn't need authority. It just needs to be right more often. The dangerous part isn't that the machines decide. It's that humans stop practicing decision-making. Judgment is a muscle, and muscles atrophy when they're not used. And at 68, I can tell you I got muscles that have atrophied that I didn't even know that I had. So when something can't be automated, when a decision involves values, ethics, risk, or moral cost, we discover we're out of shape. That's why so many systems now feel unaccountable. No one decided, the system did. And when no one decides, no one is responsible. Think for a minute about the movement with autonomous cars. You can sit in the back, do your work, drive to work, drink your coffee, text people, just do anything you want to do. If it gets in an accident, who's responsible? This is how power shifts without a takeover. No conspiracy is required, just convenience. AI doesn't seize control. We hand it over. One optimization at a time. But here's the part, excuse me. Here's the part people miss. Opting out doesn't make you safe. It makes you invisible. Because systems don't argue with people who don't participate. They just go around them. That's why decisions feel like they're being made sudden now. Why policies seem to change overnight. Why jobs disappear without warning. Why appeals feel like they're pointless. The decision has already been made. It's already happened, and you just weren't consulted. But here's the key distinction. Being excluded is an act done to you. Opting out is an act you do to yourself. Most people don't lose their voice. They just stop using it. Not because they didn't care, but because the system made participation feel slow, confusing, or irrelevant. In the next episode, we're going to talk about what happens after that. When entire groups don't just lose influence, but they lose their economic footing. Because when decisions are made without you long enough, The middle just doesn't shrink. It collapses. Think about it. I'm George Tiff. This is BoomerBust. Boomer out.